And we welcome you back to the Mountain Dew Cup Series Season number 1, live from the Bristol Motor Speedway for race number 3 of the season in the Food City 500 presented by X48X. We have our first night race of the season as we have 34 drivers ready to take on the last great Coliseum in the world's fastest half mile for 12 laps to see who will come out on top in the Food City 500. And tonight, we have 2 new drivers joining the series with the 33 of Austin Cindric and the 66 of Timmy Hill. We'll see how they do in their series debut. But tonight, we also have a new PJ1 traction compound that has been placed on the bottom groove of the Bristol Motor Speedway as we continue to bring back the dominant bottom groove in old Bristol Motor Speedway. It will be interesting to see how drivers race it with multiple grooves of racing. And of course, you know that whenever you come to the Bristol Motor Speedway, tempers will be overflowing and tempers will be flaring. We'll watch out for those tempers here tonight. And now, let's take a look at our Geico ones to watch for the Food City 500. We start off with the 12 of Ryan Blaney, who's had a great start to his season, finishing first in the Daytona 500 and 5th last race at Rockingham. Starting 11th here tonight, he looks to continue his top 5 streak. We also have the 1 of Kurt Busch, who won at Rockingham. He's starting from the 14th position, looking to go back-to-back here at Bristol. And finally, Martin Truex Jr. has had an abysmal start to his season. He needs a good run here tonight, starting from the 30th position, with some work to do. As now we take a look at our starting lineup. From the pole, it's Alex Bowman, and to his outside, Ryan Newman. Back in row 2, Daniel Suarez with his best starting position of the season, and Austin Dillon to his outside. In row 3, it's Brad Keselowski alongside William Byron. Back in row 4, Tyler Reddick and Kevin Harvick. In row 5, it's Matt DiBenedetto and Corey LaJoie, rounding out our top 10. As now the cars roll off and the pace laps begin, you see Jimmy Johnson starting 13th in his final start at the Bristol Motor Speedway. And you also see his teammate Chase Elliott, who won the All-Star race back in 2020, starting from the 20th position. Kyle Larson needs a good run here today. Starting from the 11th row, Clint Bowyer starting from the 12th row. Needs a good run here tonight as well. And of course, Martin Truex Jr. starting alongside Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 15th row. And the 2 newcomers, Austin Cindric and Timmy Hill, starting back in row 17. Here's your race breakdown. 12 laps, which is 6 miles. Halfway bonus at lap 6. Half a mile track. 34 drivers. 81 degrees our air temperature under partly cloudy skies. As we are ready to go racing, green flag is in the air. We're underway from Bristol. And off of turn 2, Alex Bowman will clear the 6 of Ryan Newman, as now Brad Keselowski looks to take away second. Alex Bowman leads lap number 1 as Brad Keselowski uses that PJ1 to get past the 6 car, with now Kevin Harvick wanting to join the party. He'll take away third from Ryan Newman. Bowman continues to lead here on lap number 3 as we have a car on the wall, turn 3. That's John Hunter Nemechek up against the wall, bringing out the first caution of the night, as it looks like he may have just blown a tire getting into turn number 3. He was on the outside of 3 wide with Clint Bowyer and Eric Jones, and the tire just lets go on him, and into the wall he goes. He'll continue this race, however, but certainly his hopes of winning here tonight have been dashed. As now it's time for the choose cone rule. Alex Bowman takes to the outside, giving the bottom to Brad Keselowski for this upcoming restart. Not a lot of changes otherwise. As we take a look at our Mountain Dew quick race recap, Keselowski up 3 since the start of this race, Harvick up 4, and Ryan Newman has dropped like a rock since the start of this race. He's dropped back 4 since the start. Green flag is back in the air. Keselowski leads him down into turn 1. Side by side with the 88 of Alex Bowman. Contact is made off of turn 2. Keselowski's going to give the 88 the bumper heading into 3 and 4. It's not going to work, however, as Alex Bowman clears for the lead. A ton of damage to the side of his car, and more contact. Around they go into the inside wall. And the caution is back out here on lap number 6 for Alex Bowman and Brad Keselowski. They crashed while battling for the lead, and it looks like Keselowski just thought he was either clear or he had a tire going down. One or the two. Keselowski makes contact with Bowman. They both spin in hard contact with the inside wall, as it looks like they're going to go up to each other and talk it out here on the backstretch. Now some pushes and punches being thrown between Keselowski and Bowman. It's quickly separated, but some talking still going on, as the crowd is not happy with what they just saw from Keselowski. And you see why Alex Bowman was so mad with Keselowski. He got hit from the side and then got the bumper from the 2 car, as Keselowski gets talked to by the NASCAR officials, while Alex Bowman takes the mandatory trip to the infield care center. We'll see if any fines result as of this fight between the two. And even after all of that, it's time for the choose rule. Kevin Harvick, our new leader, he'll take the inside lane. Harvick won the halfway bonus. Not a lot of changes between the top 8 drivers here on this choose rule. As it's time for our Mountain Dew quick race recap. All pluses on the board, with William Byron gaining 6 and Elliott up 7 since the last restart. 3 Hendrick drivers in the top 5 for this restart. Green flag is back in the air. Kevin Harvick leads him down into turn 1. Side by side with Matt DiBenedetto as they make their way through 3 and 4. Harvick's going to clear the 21 off of turn 4. As now Matt DiBenedetto side by side with the 24 of William Byron. As we're on board with Kevin Harvick, and his teammate Clint Boyer has gained a ton of position since the start of this race. He's going to go for another on the 12 of Ryan Blaney. He'll clear him as Bubba Wallace follows in behind of him. He's going to go for another position on the 12 of Ryan Blaney with 3 laps to go. As here comes Matt DiBenedetto to the outside. Harvick says no. He'll clear him off of 4 once again. With 2 laps to go, Harvick pulls out to a lead. And around goes the 41. Back up the track into the 3 car of Austin Dillon. And we're under caution with 2 laps to go, which means we'll go to overtime for the first time this season. Under this 3rd caution flag, it looks like Larson thought he was clear of the 41 car and turns him, and back up the track goes the 41, collecting the 42 and 3 of Austin Dillon. Dillon, just an innocent bystander, running his line, and into the 41 he goes. That will end all 3 of their days. Kyle Larson has pulled it into the garage area. He was not clear of the 41 car, and his night is over with. Tough break for all 3 of those drivers. Larson has struggled at the start of this season. As it's now once again time for the choose rule, Matt DiBenedetto takes to the bottom. He'll give up his 2nd place running position to William Byron. Not a lot of other changes on the board. As we take a look at the Mountain Dew quick race recap, how about Clint Boyer and Bubba Wallace? They started side by side in row 12. They have moved their way up through the field, up 7 since the last restart for Boyer, and up 6 for Bubba Wallace. As the green flag is back in the air, NASCAR overtime with 2 laps to go. Byron shuffled up out of the groove. Clint Boyer's going to get by, making it 3 wide. He'll go for 3rd. 1 lap to go for Kevin Harvick. Matt DiBenedetto way up to the outside, side by side off of turn 2. Down the backstretch, Matt DiBenedetto with the advantage, side by side. Harvick with the late race run, and it's not going to be enough. Matt DiBenedetto wins it in Bristol. Harvick and Bubba round out your top 4, as it's Matt DiBenedetto claiming the checkered flag in the first photo finish of the season. You see Harvick there with a late race charge. Wasn't enough, however. As you see your margin of victory, Matt DiBenedetto leads 1 lap on the day, and it's the final lap. As Matt DiBenedetto celebrates with the burnout here on the front stretch, he finally gets redemption here at Bristol, and we congratulate his sponsor, AHawks 48, on the victory here tonight after starting from the 9th position and at halfway up to 2nd, giving him 9 extra points to be added on to his finishing result here tonight. And here's a look at the unofficial results from Bristol. Kyle Busch with a nice top 5 finish. How about Martin Truex Jr., his teammate, finishing 9th, a good run that he has needed since the start of the season. Jimmie Johnson finishes in 10th in his final race here at Bristol. You also see Kurt Busch. He was never a factor here tonight after making contact with the wall here early on. He finishes in 19th. Timmy Hill and Austin Cindric in their first races in the Mountain Dew Cup Series finished 24th and 25th, so a good night for them to start their career. Here's a look at the point standings with only 4 races left until the start of the playoffs. It's Kevin Harvick who jumps up to the top with Ryan Blaney sitting right behind him, 10 points back. You also see Tyler Reddick, the Busch brothers, Kurt and Kyle, 4th and 5th. And you see tonight's winner, Matt Benedetto, jump up to 6th. And you see John Nemechek, even after today's performance, back in 7th. And Newman still holds on to the playoff cutoff by 2 over Denny Hamlin. You also see Jimmie Johnson in his final season currently sitting in 11th. And how about Bubba and Clint Boyer gaining multiple positions after today's performance, 16th and 19th on the board. As now you take a look at 21st on back, you see Martin Truex Jr. after tonight's performance sitting currently in 22nd along with Joey Logano. You also see some big names back there like the 42 of Kyle Larson, who needs to get his season on track. But you also see Noah Gragson, who will make his first start next race at Nazareth. But nonetheless, we want to thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed race number 3 of the season from the Bristol Motor Speedway, as it certainly was an interesting one to watch with the PJ1 traction compound placed down in turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Definitely brought back some old bump and runs and multiple lines of racing for these drivers to race on. Once again, we want to congratulate Matt Benedetto and his sponsor AHawks 48 on their victory here tonight as we continue to move on with season number 1 of the Mountain Dew Cup Series. Our next race will be at the Bosch 400 from the Nazareth Speedway, a track that the Cup Series has never been to. But nonetheless, we want to thank you all for watching, and we'll see you at Nazareth. Until then, this is the MDCS Racing Network signing out.